Well, so first of all, I'm not gonna hang up the racket itself. I mean, I'm gonna stop playing PSA, obviously, but I'm still gonna continue with the national team events and with the leagues, especially for my team in Paderborn. So I'm not quite actually like hanging it up. It's more like, yeah, the step back from PSA itself. Um, so the reason behind it really was, in the end of the day, I kind of felt that, especially in the last, let's say, yeah, 6-7 months since the whole pandemic started, and once the tournament started over again. I mean, first PSA did an unbelievable job to actually like put up events. That was massive for all of us just to get playing again. But then the whole thing, I'm very how do you say it? I'm very sensitive in a way if something is not quite the same as it usually is, and my routine is not quite the same as it usually is. So yeah, once we started again on tour and we played the tournaments in Manchester, in Egypt, and in Qatar, everything was just about kind of living from one Corona test to the other. It wasn't about like living from one match to the other. It was more like, oh, I just hope not to be positive to having to quarantine in a different like foreign country or so. So I'm quite like a head person. So whenever something is not 100% as it normally is, I struggle to like switch off once on court. And yeah, I didn't really kind of enjoy it anymore as much as I normally do. Obviously, you're stuck to your hotel room. You're in the bubble. You're basically not allowed to leave your room really. So you're ordering room service 3 times a day. You're working out in your room, which was quite good. The last few tournaments, there were like huge rooms, which was really good to actually have like a kind of a workout. But I'm the kind of person who needs that practice, like proper practice before the match. And we had the chance every now and then to actually play before the tournament started, but it wasn't quite often. So I just didn't feel like it was the right thing for me anymore. Especially looking forward, it doesn't seem that things gonna change. Let's say the next half year or so. I'm 33 now. I'm gonna be 34 next year. It's yeah. I think I would have given myself, let's say, another 2 years if everything stayed the same. But now, as things changed and yeah, different doors opened as well on the side, I decided to yeah, kind of stop playing PSA, but still keeping myself fit. I'm still gonna work out. I'm still gonna, as I said, play leagues. Gonna play European teams, play world teams, world games for Germany. So I still want to keep myself fit. I still want to play squash. I still want to play competitive squash because I love the sport. I still love the sport just like on the first day. It didn't change anything really. It's not like I don't enjoy playing squash anymore. It was just the fact that I knew my career is gonna stop within the next 2 years anyways. And so it's just basically I took the decision a little bit forward and used the last few months to do different things as well and to prepare myself for basically what's coming after the sport career. It was something that I had in my mind for, let's say, 2-3 months now, at least, even longer probably. It got very concrete in the last, do you say concrete? It got very the decision basically came within the last 4 or 5 weeks. So I kind of look forward to the new chapter. Of course, you're looking at your whole career. You're seeing, like yesterday or 2 days ago when you showed the final of the TOC on Facebook, and you're looking into it, and you're like, oh damn, that was an unbelievable time. It's like memories that you will never forget. You get like, I get goosebumps right now when I'm talking about it. So it's definitely, I'm looking at it with one crying eye and with one smiling eye, obviously, because I definitely look forward to what's coming next. And as I said, I knew this decision is going to come anyways. It's just that it came a bit earlier than expected. I mean,
I think
it was quite stressful, obviously, on the day, because you get phone calls from the press, you get messages from your compatriots, you're getting messages from friends, from family, from everyone. Really, it's like I think that was like the most of my whole career, really. Even when I won New York back in 2018, it wasn't as much as it was now the last 48 hours. So it's great that so many people write, and I get so many messages on Instagram, on social media, people telling me how they loved my game and how much they enjoyed watching me play, which is, I mean, it's amazing to get those reactions from people all over the world. Really, it's something you maybe kind of which you don't realize until you actually get to that point, like I'm now retired, where people actually who never wrote me maybe before, but wanted to let me know how much they enjoyed my squash. So that's really nice, and it was really impressive, really, for me to see all those positive reactions, and yeah, it was quite nice. I had that question from a few guys now from the press as well, and I keep telling them that New York was obviously my absolute highlight, even though like a semi-final at the World Open is huge as well. World champs twice in a row to the semis is a big result, but then winning a tournament that you actually favored the most in your career, and you started off, how many years ago did I start off playing New York? Probably now 17 years ago, possibly. I started playing my first, or maybe 16 years ago. So I started playing when I was qualifying. I kept flying to New York, putting in a lot of money, putting in a lot of effort, and you're losing basically first round, the qualification, second round qualification. Sometimes I got into the first main draw round, played on the clash court, which was huge for me. But I keep telling that story because it's somehow funny, and it tells the story quite nicely. My father used to travel with me to New York a few times when I was when I started off playing New York. Obviously a quite exciting city as well to just visit. And I remember my father standing in front of John Nimick and telling him, it doesn't matter, we lost today, Simon lost today, but we're gonna come back as long until Simon wins it. And that was like something that kind of it stuck into my mind for the all those years I played New York. It was always something, for some reason, it was just something that my father kind of set out and didn't, I mean, maybe even choking inside a little bit, because he thought maybe, it's quite a big goal to set. But in the end of the day, I achieved exactly that thing. And that was the only time my father kind of came with me to a tournament and said it to a tournament organizer. So that was something very special, and like winning that tournament was it was something it took me a long time to realize I actually won the tournament. I think I don't have any regrets, really. I must say I stayed completely injury free throughout. I think it was funny when I pulled out of Egypt. I think Mohammed wrote me. He's like, man, I do not remember you ever pulling out of any tournament. And that's when I started to realize actually that that's true. I think it was the only tournament, or maybe there was, like, in the beginning of my career, maybe one tournament that I pulled out because I was sick, but I never, I was injury free throughout my whole career, which was amazing. I got to number 3 in the world. I got those 11 in a row titles in Germany. There's nothing I would do differently if you would ask me. There's everything that I did was basically, it was going well. And even though I was never the kind of player that jumped like high in the rankings within short time, like maybe Mohammed or Rami or Ali, I was always the kind of guy who got up the rankings slowly. But that was also the positive thing, that my body grew with the whole thing. So maybe that's the reason as well why I stayed quite long injury free, and why I was basically healthy throughout my whole career. All the Egyptians really gonna be in for a big fight the next few years. There's gonna be Mohammed, who's, in my opinion, still young enough to be up there for the next, let's say, 3 years. Ali, I think Karim is quite young as well. Asal is coming up, shooting up the rankings now. Tarek, Tarek is actually my age, so let's see how he's gonna cope with the whole thing. Obviously Paul, who's now one of the left guys who's trying to battle the Egyptian boys. Joe Macon. I think there's a few contenders who can stay up there and can go up go up the whole way. But then looking at especially guys like Asal, and looking at their age, it's quite scary really, because another top Egyptian guy who's just basically came out of juniors and now challenging the top guys. I think that's good news for Egypt, and tough for the rest of the world really. One of my what I'm gonna do in the future is obviously like coaching as well. So I'll be taking over a role in the city I grew up in, Würzburg, as a coach, and also like kind of a bit of a managing job at the club, which has I think around 10 outside tennis courts, 3 indoor tennis courts, and 3 squash courts. We've got like 4 quite good juniors there. I'm definitely trying to do my bit as well to get more Germans out again on the tour. I think we have some good players. Obviously Rafi is still going to be there for a few years, hopefully. We have got guys like Yannick Omlo, Valentin Rapp, guys who are very solid, who are just trying to break through really. It's a matter of time, I think. I think we do have a good team as well in order for the next Europeans and Worlds, as I'll still be playing as well. So does Rafi, so does Yannick and Valentin. I think we have a really good chance to also be in the mix at least for the next few years, and then hopefully even more juniors gonna come up by then, and we set up a new team really. Obviously I'm a family's person really, and having a 2-year-old boy at home is definitely something that was difficult for the first couple of months traveling. It was very nice when I was home while the PSA Tour stopped due to Corona. So it had his perks as well. The other side of it was definitely that I got the time to spend with my family more, with my little one. But it's obviously very difficult to leave the family, leave the kid back home, and not see him sometimes for 2 weeks or so. Luckily nowadays you got the you get the chance to FaceTime or Skype. You can actually see your family back home, which wasn't the case maybe 20 or 30 years ago. So that was definitely difficult, and maybe the whole thing why Corona changed things in my mind as well. Maybe it changed the fact that I just wanted to enjoy the time with him more, with my family more at home. And I think it's the right time for me to step down from PSA. I think for me personally, I think that was definitely the right time, and I choose the correct timing for that. I'm gonna definitely miss just traveling as well. I mean, the one hand side is obviously being away from home, which is not nice, but the good part of it always was traveling the world, seeing different cultures, seeing different cities, obviously seeing familiar faces around the world, seeing my pro colleagues, I'd say, pro opponents on tour. Many people would say I'm gonna miss Nicolas Müller, obviously, but I'm gonna see him in Paderborn because he's gonna be here as well quite a lot in the future, I think. So that's definitely something I'm gonna miss for sure. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna visit a tournament in the future, maybe as a spectator, not as a player anymore. Gonna be able to watch without any being nervous about the whole week or whatever. Just go there, relax, and enjoy the squash. But yeah, I think that the traveling part and seeing different cultures, seeing the world, and that's something I'm definitely gonna miss.